Gates?
No, that's a different. Because we have the
Good morning, all. It's time for some Vanguard.
Dagnabbit, my look. East of us is Jinka Shores and the Tomb of Lord Sang. Gates is just north of us.
Travel to the Sundering Wastelands and speak with Warseer Cadrigan.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at, but I don't know. Is that not even on this continent? I'm gonna go Google
Sundering
this.
Wastelands. Because it says travel, so it's gotta be somewhere.
We just looking up where to go. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where this is supposed to send us because it doesn't have a waypoint associated with it. And it doesn't even... Alright, zones, Sundering Wastelands. I'm trying to find where...
Up north in Kojin. On the Northern Isle, the big one. Sundering Wastelands 11 to 18.
Oh, so you had to go all the way out to the Kojan map.
Well, we are on Kojin here, right?
No, yes, but Kojan is a series of islands.
Right, it's the northern one.
So you're saying you went to the big map.
Yep.
Sundering Wastelands, I see it. So there must be a riftway to it.
There is. Going to it now. Oh, I remember this.
Sundering Wastelands, right?
Kojan. Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Top right.
Good morning, Yord. Vanguard team assemble. What's up? Good morning, good morning.
Where all the trolls and orcs are.
Ooh, I like killing orcs and trolls.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, except I died. I died falling into the world.
Oh no.
Does anyone else have a res? You double click it, babe. Yep. Not sure where I go if I release.
Should be right back to where you spawned in.
No, it's right here. Nice. It spawned me at the way shrine.
Lucas, what do you have?
Good morning, Anton.
Why didn't I
Dovidatus.
see you guys?
And appreciate it, man. Thank you. Good morning,
Yeah.
Classified.
Oh no, you're way far away.
Weird.
Shows you like 12k kilometers away.
I don't think I can travel with this one either. Like it was a death way shrine, that's why. Yeah, it took me way out. Oh?
Welcome, Anton, to the membership of NAPALM. Thank you, man. Welcome to the family. Appreciate your support, dude. Thanks a lot, man. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Oh, it sounds so dinosaur-y. Without my bard speed, I'm gonna be a little slow. I'm southeast of you guys, I think.
All right. Thank you, Anton. You too, man. Have a great day, dude. If you gotta
You
go.
can move it around. Left click and hold. Drag. I know I'm nowhere near you. I'm trying to get to you. I'm running. What?
Trying to see where you're at on the map.
No. I'm not down there on my map. Yeah. Your map might be lying too.
Yeah, our map's showing you way down on the southern continent. That's not accurate, you say?
Well, at least for me, it's showing me somewhat close to you guys, so.
Okay.
Run.
There's
I'm like
Maduros.
some Martok Incursion Outpost is where I am. Okay. I see a way shrine. I should be able to... Yes, I see you guys. I see you guys, the group. Yep, thankfully my map was right, even though yours was off. Yeah. Oh, that scared me.
Thank you. Let's see who. I'm sorry I didn't. I was.
And I'll give you
doing
guys a
Discord.
summoning
1
orb
second.
if
Let
I
me
die
find you.
again.
All right, Classified. Thanks for the super chat, man. I found some new bodies in your choose your own adventure. Just wanted to say thanks. I enjoy it. Nice, man. I've got a brand new one I'll be working on as soon as Cringe Pony's done here in the next couple of weeks with the season anyway. That's why I'm taking a little bit of a
Now, do
break
we
in
bind
between
here or
seasons.
anything?
Is be making a brand new choose your own
if
adventure.
You want to? This is just
Glad
gonna
you
be a
liked it,
quest
man.
hub
Thanks for the
that,
super chat. Thanks for supporting the channel, man.
We do for a little bit. I don't see any
Now we
stones.
Yeah, that's okay. Warseer Cadragon or Cadragon or I don't know.
Did you get him? There's Maduros. Yay.
Hey there.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Bless you. I don't see him as like a point.
What are you looking for?
Warseer.
Right here.
Oh yeah, there he is.
That's our quest, dude.
Weird. Push their supplies what they have, grab the supplies from the camps around the Badlands and bring them back
He
to us
is
here.
a
Don't care how you go
scary-looking
into gathering them, as
orc.
long as we have them and the Gulgrether do not.
I mean, look at that. Not to sidetrack, but the detail on some of the character models is really, really good from all these years ago. Because that orc looks pretty badass. Not
Yeah.
even, no joke.
I agree.
Are we picking up unlikely supplies?
Yep, that's
Yes.
the only quest there is. We're here to do leveling, so it's whatever these guys have for leveling quests. And then when we wrap them up, we have 2 more.
Yeah, we were gonna level
Red
up
crumbs.
to. We were gonna level up to the Jin Cuff Wars quest.
Mm-hmm. The glowing blood sample, which is 18, so we got to get at least 18.
Okay.
Buff up. Get her buff on.
I'll throw out all my bard buffs.
Nice.
What just happened there?
Morning, Raish. Enjoying a nice coffee this morning, I hope.
I got following Sparrow for a minute here. I gotta answer
Okay.
some YouTube comments.
Alright, so we should have southeastern Gulgrithor camp on the map. Different camps we have to go to. Mini
Okay.
map.
It's over this way,
Looks
I
like
believe.
northeastern is closest.
I see Sparrow Little Song's tombstone.
Yeah, that's where I zoned in and died.
Oh, weird. It zoned you
Oh,
in a weird
wow.
spot, too.
Yeah, it dropped me from the sky and that's where I landed.
Get it so you get some of your debt back.
Oh. Good call, thank you.
Or you can res yourself, then you get bones from resin.
Oh, well, too late.
Oh, you get what? for
It's
doing
like, I
that?
didn't know.
I didn't know you could dress
Good
yourself.
to know. Yeah, me either. Alright.
All right, so we're
Dinosaur.
what are we killing? What are we supposed to be killing? I mean.
We have to get a package or something in the camp.
Oh, okay.
Pick up a crate of foodstuffs, tools, weapons, yada yada yada. Oh, I'm not grouped? My group window is completely smushed. I can't see your health bars. That won't work.
It's weird. Did the resident?
Can you invite me again? Because it's showing me not in group now.
It says you're in group.
I can click.
Maybe I should kick you out and then re-invite you.
Sure.
Well, it won't let me do that.
Or I can camp maybe and log in.
Maybe.
Try that. Because for me, it's saying I'm not in group.
Hey, good morning, Crinkled. Also doing the coffee ritual.
Back in.
I suppose we're in my group, even though Anne's 13 kilometers away.
There we go. Inviting you back, Sparrow. He thinks you're in the group and not in the group.
Okay, let's all disband maybe
Yeah.
and regroup.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
There's no easy way to leave a group. Leave group.
Right.
No, just right-click your
own
name.
Yeah, I was trying all sorts of chat commands. It wasn't working.
Oh, yeah.
I
Nerd.
was like, leave, disband. No.
There you go. You're in a group and you're not 13 kilometers away.
Yeah.
That little fall through the world threw everything off.
Yeah,
Yep. You probably thought you were still down in the earth somewhere.
that's right.
Tag features. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Oh, here's the crate over here. Crate of foodstuffs.
And for anybody that doesn't know, since we last played, Xenix has adjusted dungeon mob difficulty, and it is super fun now. Lots of beefiness.
Nice.
Come on, Lucas. Dude, you gotta jump up.
He
and
patched.
through there.
He patched, or not patched, but he fixed a 6 dot right in front of our faces. We were like totally cheesing a 6 dot and getting 14k experience every time he spawned. And I seen him run ahead. I was like, oh, he's gonna fix that 6 dot. And we went in there and that 6 dot destroyed us. Dude.
Nice.
I could just see him chuckling.
He sent me a toe. He's like, he's a 6 dot, dude. I was like, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Try that again.
So funny.
So I got the crate of food stuff.
Yep. Just waiting for everybody to get it.
Yeah, it's a
gotta
repop.
Whoa, that's a big, look at that flare core behemoth.
Ooh,
That's a cool looking mob.
so prehistoric.
I'm done with Renfail.
You're done with Renfell?
I'm finished with the box on Renfail.
You thought you meant you were done with yourself.
Yeah,
I'm-
yeah, you're done. I'm so
done.
done with myself.
Alright, I guess I need to be getting that. You have to do it the one time, right? Let's see,
And we
yeah.
got other things at other camps.
Okay. Did everybody get that camp then?
Yes.
Think
Okay.
so.
Yes. Crate of foodstuffs.
What's that random screaming? Did you guys hear that?
It's probably
No.
Brio's cousin.
My cousin Cleo. Book of Warfare, page 4.
What is that for?
I think you have to get like all of them and put them together or something.
For something to.
I have my box from here.
I have mine.
Oh, there was a box.
Yep. It pops right here right where you're at, actually.
There's one at each camp.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
There you go.
Next one's over here, I think.
Okay, does everybody have their box now?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody got it that quick, did they?
Yeah, it's only like a
Oh.
10-minute. It's like a 10-second respawn.
Yep, I got mine.
Okay.
Two,
Okay,
three,
and
four.
Renfo
Five
ran
of
this
us?
way.
Yeah, I'm weaving my way through these daggermouth crawlers. Because they're scary, like, dune dragon things. As I deal with a needy cat.
Catching up to you.
I'm with Nathan.
Where'd he go?
I'll come get you.
I don't see him there. Oh, there we go.
Got my crate.
That's weird. How can I harvest this?
Did you have harvesting? Up to a certain amount?
Mhm.
You're assisting.
That's weird because it seems to be just like a harvesting node, not an actual like lumberjacking or mining node.
Yeah, there's roots you can actually harvest for wood.
That's interesting.
Good morning, Floodwall. How you doing today?
You actually see those in like caves and stuff too.
Okay.
All good?
Southeastern.
I have mine.
Or I go straight across over here to the next camp, I imagine. Ew, those are all 3 dots.
And a lot of them.
Well, that's
Yeah,
a
that's
cool looking phenomenon.
Showing the dots is one of the few things I did not like about this game. Let me just find out the hard way. Yeah, there is something to be said about just getting your butt kicked, and I think that it's just so prevalent in this game, you kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to it. Yeah, what are those for? The pages of warfare. They've been dropping these goblins. Oh, that's true. You could turn it off, yeah. An old major quest
That
for
was
a
all
clickable
four?
item. Okay.
Back to worse here.
Wonder if it's in the game. Unlikely supplies complete. I've got a link in the description, Zintians. Just download, make sure you follow all the instructions.
Oh, are we flying?
It's not that difficult, just make sure you do follow the instructions, because if you miss a step, it may not run properly.
Yeah.
I only run when I want to harvest.
Yep, if it's in the game, I'm going to use it.
Complaining the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll whine about it.
This is world breaking. World breaking.
It's killing my immersion.
My immersion's
Love
killed,
it.
but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't mind it, to be honest, because I know it's not going to be in here if that glorious day that EG7 hands over that database.
Alright, so that's a wrap on that. So I'm assuming we go to the next one. Which is Need for Heroes Blighted Lands. Which means we're going to need to use the rifts again.
Oh, and Sparrow, I did catch up with you last night. So I'm 55 now, too, on WoW Classic.
Hey. Nice.
Yeah, we got, Joey got 55 today and we got 56.
Nice.
Joey's about halfway through, so tomorrow we'll get probably 57 and 56.
And Plague Lands is where we need to go next time we play
Nice.
Sparrow, because it is tons of quests
Perfect.
around our level, too.
Work to it.
We'll probably
And
get
is
to
that-
58 there between Eastern and Western, I would think.
Yeah. And that's tomorrow morning, yeah?
Yeah, unless you want to do it sometime today.
Oh. I'll talk to
But
Bounty and see.
It'll have to be evening because I don't know how much time we'll have between that and MMO 101.
Yeah.
East.
Are we doing House of Fallen Leaves or Need for Heroes?
Need for Heroes.
Unless they finish that patch early. That's what the only reason I said it'll have to be evening.
Lighted Lands.
Looks like both of those turn-ins are right here at the same place, so... This chunk is currently being worked on with VGO staff. Please do not bug report anything in chunk at this time.
Where are we going?
Just come to Renvale. I'm at the...
Turn-ins.
I'm at
Like,
the two-
are we traveling or running? Like
you,
travel
have
stall?
to, you have to use the rift. You have to use the rift to come to the Blighted Lands.
This Gardiba has a ton of quests.
Looking for it.
Down south on the Kojin map. Southeast.
Oh. That's why.
Yeah, they
Looks
should
like
be
the
up
other
this
time.
evening, though, Jarrett.
Yeah, this guy did have a ton of quests. Cool beans.
Unless they change the information, I haven't seen it yet.
And there's more quests.
Renfo was just playing it.
inside, as an FYI.
Like, he literally, unless it just went down, he literally just logged off maybe 10, 12
Oh
minutes
my
ago.
god. Okay. Just keep picking them up.
There's a ton. I remember doing this in my drip.
Did it send us to the right place, Bounty? I don't know where we're...
You guys picked Blighted Lands?
Yeah.
It's just south. Well, the quest, I forget. It's if you turn around, you see like some like wind posts with lightning around them.
Oh, right.
You can also look at the arrows. You guys are only 90 meters away from us. It's really close.
Yeah, just come south. Wow, maybe you are. Oh, there's people you have to speak here too for the quests.
I have no idea if there's more in the interior or not.
You startled me.
There's a spellcaster instructor. Yay, I can train.
It's a lot of
That's
quests.
a lot of quests.
That's what I'm saying. They were like, World of Warcraft, hold
Just
my
from those
beer.
2 people.
Note to self, don't try to enter a door on your mount.
Gosh.
Opens the door.
Healing instructor.
Yeah, that's who I'm looking for.
Right here, dude.
There are trainers in here too for anybody who needs to train.
Ooh, nice
It's
altar.
like a cool looking shrine.
Yeah.
Not till 16.
Anybody find any quests in the interior yet?
Not
Or
yet.
just trainers?
Yeah, spellcaster and healer in here, it looks like.
I'm gonna run around back, just double check. There's the protective fighters out back, by the way.
I
to
just
the
saw a
side.
trainer before everybody logged in, so I'm good.
Alright. Also ranged trainers back here. Offensive weapons, offensive fighting instructors behind the building. That's for our 2 rogues.
Don't forget as you level up, guys, use your allocation points.
Good point. I forgot
C
all about that.
character and then bottom
5
tab
more.
attributes.
Oh, those 40 points I haven't distributed?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I always forget to.
Yeah. I'm back
Good
and
morning,
forth.
Jahai.
Vitality
Good
and
morning,
wisdom.
Wild Relic. How you guys
Look at
doing
my
today? It's a
mess.
wonderful last day of August. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is the final day of August. We're moving into September. Hate to say it, but summer's over. For me, August is over. Summer's over. It's done. It's done. Create new content or new weapons and armor off the table for the server? I don't think so, but not. It's probably off the table right now, because they're just focused on getting it closer and closer to live right now. But I would
Alright,
I
follow
would
Nathan.
assume
I
it
gotta
won't be
do
off
some
the
cat stuff here.
table after they get beyond that. You know, anything's possible. The new blue names are nearly impossible to see for me.
When you have this many quests in your MMO, nobody can read all your quests and get into the lore. It's
Nope,
like,
nope.
that's too many.
You think even somebody like Derek would be like, okay.
Oh yeah, he would click through that. I have no doubt.
I think if I was playing, you know, if this, I feel like when this game hits a live state, I may read most of them.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
skim them. I'll skim them. You know what I mean?
Speed read.
Yeah, I'll skim them so I get the general gist. The dungeon ones I would read all the way through, though.
Boom, boom, boom. Alright, I'm back at the desk.
For me, if it was something like Epic Weapon Quest or some sort of big storyline, I read those. I enjoy those. But I don't read the run out, kill this, and fetch that, and
All right. Well, we need to kill.
Well, make sure you sell stuff.
yeah. Oh man.
That's
yeah,
a good
like so many
point.
quests. What are?
Did you guys find somebody to sell to?
Any vendor, a heavy armor vendor,
Trainers.
trainers that aren't yours.
I bet we just have to slaughter
there's the general
everything
goods.
outside of this
General goods
outpost.
vendor.
That's what I'm thinking, Renfield. I guess I better keep that.
Yep. Did you guys get the update for that 1 of 8?
I think I heard a ding. We did, actually. And we're still at the camp.
Yeah, I'm just outside.
Stam and tank.
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to loot those. That's nasty.
Oh.
Don't nobody look at that corpse. Just leave it alone. Trust me.
You don't want to see?
You don't want to see what it's got on it.
Now I gotta see. Hang on. Whoa! Whoa! What's he been up to?
What's the clear the loot thing / end loot?
Well, knock on wood, not having crash day so far, I'm gonna chalk off last week to being on my 4G as opposed to any actual issues, unless I don't know if Zenix has done any patching between last week and this.
He's done quite a few things, so I don't know.
Alright.
I
Been
lost
busy.
you guys.
Right outside, sweetheart.
Yeah, yeah, run outside and then...
I see you.
Yep.
Okay.
You gotta loot stuff to get the pearls or something.
It says I have 13 active quests.
Yeah.
All from here.
Remember that unforgettable quest we did, the number 7 one?
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, it was great.
Number 7.
I've been complaining to Maduros about that in like the Burning Crusade stuff, because it's like you just go into a zone and it's like the first quest hub you hit, you're full. Your quest log is full.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And you just
How am I
gotta
supposed
do
to
all
keep
the
track of
things.
any of that?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're just looking at the freaking
Tracker at
questy at that point, yeah, and just what's closest, okay? Let's knock a bunch of these, go turn in a bunch. It does feel good though to turn them all in. When you collect them, you do a bunch of them, then you turn them all in. It does feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
like
a great
the,
feeling.
I like the Lotro.
Me too.
Star Wars Republic styles where you've got your main quest line. And then
I get anxiety when I got too many, to be honest.
Yes,
I
yeah.
start feeling like I have no control anymore.
Yeah, you go from the helpless feeling when you have 2,500 quests to that great feeling when you can hand in 5.
Yeah.
I am not good at multitasking, so that's what it feels like if there's more than 3-4 quests.
I
Like, I
agree.
can't do it.
I agree. When I have to multitask, most of the time, I just get aggravated. I just
Yeah.
get mad. Currently running their own server.
That's why,
I failed to mention the blue names are in the
might be the
YouTube stream chat
pendulum swinging
window.
too far the other way, but Pantheon doesn't want any quests giving you XP, and there'll be like no quest hubs.
My
Having,
chat
like,
window
super
looks
weird
different than
lag all
yours,
of a
so I'll have to
sudden.
check
Yeah, it's kind
that.
of rubber bandy.
Give me a second, I'll
I
check
can't heal on time, and I can't.
it. It does feel a little off, yeah.
Yeah. My spells are taking probably like almost a 10-second delay.
And when you kill something, sometimes it's still alive on my screen.
Yeah, they, we were talking, I was talking to Xenix about that. He was just basically saying that sometimes the packet of, hey, do your death animation takes too long.
Right. Or it loses it.
Or it loses it, yeah.
Just so you know, the heals are off, so if you're really dying, just yell out, because I won't see it.
Right.
It takes like 10 seconds to get a heal off.
I'm just assuming that we're killing these. I really don't know if we're supposed to or not.
Right.
With
We're
13
very
quests,
gliders.
you should be able to kill anything, right? And get an update.
I think so.
A lot of the quests are,
Pick up.
if you look at it, it says Olvari Corruption, which has 5 different quests underneath it. To be completed. A lot of them are like that. So we probably need to just go through the ones like we definitely need the Devourers. That's a kill quest.
Okay, I'm gonna grab one. See another Devourer over here.
Better. It's being a bit more responsive. Might have been our internet bounty.
Quest completions for the Olvari. Looking here, the next one, we've got a bunch of stuff for an area called the Loamsworn. We need
Yes, Kojin. That's right. Just install last night. Gonna play when I get off work tonight. Nice, John Hill. I think it's near Shang's tomb. Download this right now.
Fiends, Olvari wings.
No, we
Let's just go in course of levels.
Actually, yeah, we're not far from Shang's tomb. Yeah.
Would be the next one. Loamsworn camp is this way.
Okay.
Probably it's that encampment that we see right over there.
You know, I was thinking since we have some MMO vets in the voice chat of asking a question that I was curious your take on. That came up in the last rewind about quest experience.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, there's people that believe that you shouldn't get experience from quests.
I think it depends on your game, right? Imagine World of Warcraft's newest expansion didn't get quest experience. People flip tables, right? So I think it just depends on what kind of game you're trying to build. If you're trying to build a quest-friendly solo, duo kind of game where questing is a viable way to level up, then that's okay because that's the way your game is built and that's your grind, right? So it doesn't bother me. I would prefer questing be rarer, and you know, I think it should give some experience. Maybe not a crap ton, but something for your trouble.
Right, if the reward is worth it, it doesn't matter if it's XP or if it's an item or if it's faction or, you know.
Yeah,
If
whatever.
the games are designed that
I don't
way.
care.
Whatever the better reward is the one you're gonna focus on, right? So if I got a decent, you know, a very small amount of experience from a quest, but I got a really good item, I'm not gonna pay attention to the experience at that point. I'm worried about that item. You know what I mean? So I don't think it really matters. I think it does matter only after you set the precedent, right? For this is how our game works. I think it's confusing for people these days to not get experience. You know?
Yeah, when you're used to quest hubs, it's going to be a learning curve, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would also suggest that it's going to be more than a learning curve. For some people, it's going to be a barrier to entry. If every single other game they've ever played has quest XP, it is a trainable thing, but at the same time, are they going to be willing to be trained?
That depends on how good your gameplay is. So while they're before they figure that out, have they fallen in love with that character? That's where it all comes down to play. If they're having fun out killing stuff because the classes are well built, etc., they'll have fun.
It's always the danger of trying something new, right? People are used to one other way. As soon as you go try something new, that's the danger.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it would come down to personal preference, regardless of how good the gameplay is, though. Because you're talking about the gameplay loop being only getting quests or experience from killing stuff. And that means you're grinding mobs like over and over.
Yeah, I think they're going for that kind of campy dungeon crawl exploration is more rewarded than just doing quests. At least that's my take on what they're offering.
In my experience, that was always more enjoyable for me.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
With the grouping and get to know people and doing the grind but they made it difficult in those little areas of, you know, camps and dungeons and stuff like that. I like that.
Yeah, especially when you mix it up and it's not Groundhog Day. That's the secret to making that feel more modern. It's not making it to where, like, oh, we're going back to this place, I know exactly what to expect and exactly what's going to happen. Like, that's where it starts getting old, you know?
Yeah, and that's what they're even trying to do with the dispositions
Right.
and traits. You never know how a fight's going to go.
Yep.
Because you don't know what they're going to spawn with.
Even camping an area. Like, that doesn't mean every pool's going to be the same. Every pool's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
Area down here at the bottom.
Looting, babe.
What down the bottom?
There's a little down here.
Can't wait to start. I'm looking at the wiki. This game might tie me over to a Pantheon that comes out. I hope so, Christopher. Everything in Vanguard is based off level what you kill or complete, depending on when you turn it in or kill it. Yep.
Like a graveyard.
It's a reward.
Some really nice gloves on there. Like a broad range of stats.
For medium armor, yeah.
Are you still on it? Trying to loot it. Yeah. Oh, it was sparkling, I thought. Yeah, I see. Could be a bug.
That's all my necklaces.
Gotta wait for repot. Oh, there you go.
Gem. Got an eye.
Yeah, you need those aluminum gems. Alumium.
Try and loot, honey. Try and loot. Flash it.
Big.
Nice bell. We're just up the stairs.
A few expansion packs ago in EQ2, they changed mob XP to basically nothing and put all XP in quest lines. It's the kind of game now you're only good for gear and public social interaction. Ugh.
So let me ask you another question then. What would be the importance then, aside from getting experience, to go out and kill something?
Loot.
Loot, yeah.
Faction.
Faction, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one, actually.
Exploration, which most people like to do.
And back again, questing.
Or farming for items you need for crafting or for selling. I find when it's for that, dude, I'll kill stuff for a long, long time if I know they drop valuable things I can sell and I need some gold.
Yeah, and there's other systems too, like perception. If you want to go out and follow a perception ping and find new areas.
Man, he just teleported.
All of these have sparklies, but I can't loot anything.
Yeah,
Me
we were
too.
having the same thing. Yeah.
I think sometimes if it doesn't let you, if you've already /in loot, it's a glitch where actually somebody's already looted it.
It might also be quest items that you've already completed the quest on, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
I bet I know what it is. If somebody that already picked up a quest item then loots something, a body, that has that quest item that they can't pick up because they already have it,
Right.
it still locks it to them. So they need to make sure that they're doing the end loop.
Okay, maybe
I was
we should
just
all
able
do
to-
it. Yep.
I was just able to pick something up, whereas before I couldn't. And it was for a quest. Oh yeah, now I'm getting necklaces and dirt.
Yep. 3 gems too. Little orange gems.
Greetings all, what dungeon we exploring today? Today we're running around doing some quests out here in Kojin. So far anyway. I bet EQ2 eventually goes away in the next couple of years. I don't know, man. The new Varsine server's doing really good.
Like I've yet to get one of those necklaces yet.
You see sparklies?
I'd learn about the lore. That's another reason you might go out and kill a bunch of stuff. Or like an EQ2 to get language, to understand language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and languages, I mean, I don't think you got XP for that, but it was still cool to complete and be able to speak a new language, or understand, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it counts as a quest. You get XP for it as well. I think even Lore and Legends, all of those do. The nice thing about the way they did the languages in EQ2 is tying it to prereqs for like quests. So as an example, Speak as a Dragon. You can't even start that until you've got Speak as a Giant. And then you have to complete Speak as a Dragon to be able to speak Dragon. And then that's a prereq for the Peacock quest line.
I've got a link in the description, Rakus,
another one when you're doing
to get you
epic
started
quests
with
for,
VGO EMU.
Weapons. You have to have like Ratonga or Halassian if you don't speak those racial languages as well.
Yeah, I'd be okay with those not giving XP if it was a prereq for other things, items you wanted, like quests to do.
So, back to his original question. So, I'm assuming these questions are really. I don't really watch the Rewind that much. So, is Pantheon proposing no experience points to level?
Wait, what now? For questing, is that what you mean?
That?
How are you leveling your character? How are you progressing your character in Pantheon? Does it not have experience points in the game?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Definitely does, yep. It's got skill ups and experience.
Nope.
Like it's just not dropping? Or? I have the quest.
I think the time lock servers do better than live moving forward. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. That's what's going to happen for sure. Stabbing things to learn their language is a strange system, to be sure. You pick up their totems, but, you know, I agree. My chat brings up a good point. You know, Crinkled says, stabbing things to learn their language is a pretty strange system, to be sure.
Yeah, but you're not actually learning it from stabbing them. You're gathering items.
The language scrolls.
Like, oh, now I know how to say that hurts. Please stop it. Okay, perfect.
Right.
Don't kill me. Figure out how they say for the horde.
Why are you
Kill
doing
them.
this?
I may not have picked up that quest.
Oh,
there quests inside the buildings? Because I got the ones in front and then kind of on the side.
I think they were outside.
There was a prerequisite to speak to somebody.
Let's see.
Yeah, the two guys out front.
I may have. Oh, there is a speak to Guard Ab, speak to Master Yuri, speak to Pupil Gamor. I missed that one, so that's probably why I'm not getting the necklaces.
Well, if he's the only one who needs, is everyone else finished with the kill quests, their necklaces, their gems, and etc.?
Seems like it.
Okay, then we're done here. If he can't get those drops. So the next question is, before we bail in here and go to the next. Where's everybody heading?
Oh, it's over here, isn't it?
We could probably go get that fur bounty quick, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yep.
These guys bounty right here out front.
Oh, it actually put me in combat and knocked me off my horse.
Yeah, they have the green shield. That's quest hand-ins. Oh, maybe.
There's like a little chat option, like a little chat bubble on the actual window.
Alright, what we got here?
Make sure you talk to them too. They have like little chat bubbles. No, I don't think they were in the building.
All right. Yeah, this area is very Asian themed, this continent, but there's two other continents.
Is there any more green shield people between? You gotta basically run back and forth to these guys. There's tons of quests, and they just keep popping up. Like when I go talk to one, I'll come back and this guy has a quest again. After I've talked, yeah, it's like you're running back and forth between these two guys.
It's like, guys, you're close enough you could just yell at each other.
Right.
You know, you could just
And you
be
gotta
like,
do the little chat bubble ones too, don't forget.
yeah, hit that like, and if you're new here, please subscribe.
Like in the quest, like when you talk to them, you'll see one that's a chat.
I didn't have to do any chat bubbles.
I've seen them, yeah, earlier.
I don't remember that either.
I mean, I saw it, but I didn't have to. I didn't need to click on them. They went away after I took quests.
Oh, okay. Well, I did get somehow the necklace one, so
Yeah, we can
I
go
had
back
to
and-
click on them. The chat bubble thing.
Yeah, I thought I did
Huh.
too.
I don't remember doing it either.
Yeah, I didn't do it, so
And-
I don't know if
and
it's bugged
here-
or what.
So this guy is blue. Doesn't look like he has a quest for me. I click on him, scroll to the bottom, and he's got 2 more quests.
Oh wow.
All right.
So they're like hidden quests.
Which one are you talking to?
Like
Pupil?
yeah, Pupil Gamura. Like he doesn't
What-
look like he has any quests left because it looks blue. But there's 2 more quests on the bottom for me.
What are they called?
I must have got them too already.
Well, that's why I'm curious. Like, what are the quests called?
They're
Oh.
Alluvian Gems and the 5 Brothers.
I see what he's saying is because he hasn't grabbed, well, he already grabbed the initial quest, which made it green for him. But as he already grabbed one quest, it turned it blue. But yeah, he's got more quests.
And you got to scroll on his chat thing to even see them.
Because he's giving you like
He's
6
giving me
quests.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quests, and the bottom 2 were like off the screen, and they're green, but he doesn't look green, so they're like a hidden quest.
Dude, this guy's got more quests than my wife on like a day off.
Honey-do
honey-do
list.
list.
He's a needy
Oh, and
little
one
guy.
more thing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, my wife does things that you're not gonna do for me, sir. So what's the trade-off here?
Cook you dinner?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What were
Cooking
you
dinner.
thinking?
I was thinking of dinner. You know, maybe a nice coffee.
Right.
Yeah, speaking of coffee.
Coffee
Yeah.
sounds good.
Mine's a little empty.
I think I got them all this time.
I'm gonna go grab some. I'll be right back.
I now have 18 quests.
All right. I'm going to sit here with Brio and also AFK real quick.
All right. Coffee break.
I'm going to have to make it.
So how's everybody doing?
I
It
only
is.
have 11 quests, not 18. So that's.
Yeah, so-
we'll
Yeah, I got
see what we
18
see.
quests.
I've got 12 right now. One of mine is still introduction to harvesting, though.
Maybe the only one. There's 2 in there: the Path to Adventure and Scout the Isle, that probably don't count. So that would be 16 quests you should have. And then one of them you guys already did that I didn't. So 15 quests.
I just turned in like 10 or 12 quests when
That's
we came
what I
back
feel
and
like,
started
yeah.
this, so.
I did too, but I picked up a crap ton more. And I have the necklace one that I haven't done yet. That probably gives you a few more.
I think the tree swaying like that in this game really adds a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the tree animations and the sounds and harvesting are really well done.
But I gotta admit, in real life, if I saw a tree moving like that, I'd be freaked out.
That was last night here.
Oh, was it?
We had a storm come in and it was pretty crazy. Lost the power for a few seconds.
Vanguard the WoW killer. How's it going, Shortcake? How's everybody doing on this Tuesday morning? What's everybody up to? Everybody, our group, a lot of people grabbing coffee, so we're taking a little break. I just don't need one currently, so I'm just waiting on them to get back, and then we'll continue back with the killing and the slaying.
I'm sticking following Bounty. I need to do some social media here.
All right. I'm mind-altering substances. Checking out my stats here. Strike through. Block chance is getting pretty good. Check this out tonight. Thanks, Nathan. My PC back that day couldn't handle this, so stayed with EverQuest. Yeah, I totally understand, man. Runs a lot better today than it did back then. Even in this alpha state of this server. Which, by the way, guys, there is a link in the description down below. It's a really fun MMO. The world building in this game is really, like, top-notch. And although the game isn't finished, you're going to run into some weird things, and they're still working on a lot of features of the game.
Who's all back?
There's enough here to have a really good time.
I'm here, but I'm followed on you, and I'm still in the office though. I was just doing some social media, and I'm gonna do some exercises, but I'm here.
Is Nathan here?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, Sarah's making coffee.
I have a counter argument to the quest here.
Okay.
What do you think of this? Let's say you're at Max Faction.
Okay.
And the item, let's say it's also an item that the person gives you, but it's not for your class. What's the point in doing that quest then?
To help somebody else, or else I'm not going to do it. Unless I can sell it. That's where,
but
like...
what if it then gave you experience?
Well, then I might do it. To me, if I'm playing a game that's not based around questing, right? I don't quest unless I want to. You know what I mean? So, like...
Okay, so then you have an hour to play.
Okay.
You have an hour to play.
All right.
And you don't have time to sit around and look for a group.
Sure.
How are you going to get some experience?
I'm just going to find some lower level mobs, and I'm just going to farm them. I'll pay attention to my skill ups. If I know I've only got an hour, then my objectives are going to be different, right? It might just be like, maybe I can skill this up.
So the idea that you're proposing then is to lock somebody into one type of gameplay.
I didn't say that. But you asked what I would do. That's how I like to play.
Well, that's my point, though. Is that's how you like to play. What about other people?
Well, that wasn't the question, so that's not how I answered. Other people, dude, MMOs, that's what MMOs are good, right? Like, they offer multiple objectives. So if you know you only got an hour and you don't feel like doing what I just said, well then, you know, it depends on the game. Are we talking about Pantheon?
Yeah, I think the question is about Pantheon.
Well, because it's rewind, so I'm assuming.
Yeah, the question that I had was because it was brought up that there was people that felt that quest shouldn't give any experience at all.
Okay.
And I'm saying that's
I don't agree with that. I don't see why I don't understand why that would matter. I don't see why having experience would make somebody mad. I can see why not having experience might make people mad, but I don't understand the opposite. Like, unless they're saying so much experience that like it negates regular MMO gameplay, right? Like, for example, somebody in chat was saying that in live EverQuest 2, it's almost pointless to go kill mobs now. It's all about the quests, etc. I don't agree with that. Like,
I think that's a common complaint is that if quests give experience, then it's going to circumvent the need to go out and kill stuff.
It depends on how many quests there are, how long it takes to finish those quests, etc. So that's a developer kind of how they decide to develop the game. So Pantheon, I mean, I'd be shocked if you don't get experience from doing a quest, right? There's not going to be a crack. You're not just going to be loading up on quests, you know, and then going out and knocking them all out and turning them all in. That's just not the gameplay loop of Pantheon. But while you're out doing something for whatever reason that you're there for, you know, just to get experience or whatever, or you find something cool and so you start exploring further, you're getting experience for killing the whole time. And then while you're out and about, Pantheon's not an empty world. You're going to find all kinds of things happening everywhere you go. So you're going to find quests, you're going to find perception pings, you're going to find things, and you choose to pursue them or not, just depending on what you and your group wants to do. So I think that's kind of the point of Pantheon that a lot of people are missing. It's not just go out and just kill stuff and get experience, and then once every blue moon do a quest. The quests are just intertwined into that, right? So if you go in a cave, you might see a rock with a leg sticking out, right? I'm making stuff up here, but this is kind of the idea of the way they're designing it. You investigate that, and there's a person stuck under there. You got somebody with a high enough strength to lift the rock, and maybe they're damaged real bad, and you help them out of the cave, right? And then, you know, they give you what they have. It might be gold. I'm sure there'd be some experience involved.
As long as her first name isn't Sarah.
Yeah, and you probably get a faction gain for whoever, you know, tribe she's from or whatever, right? So I'm making stuff up. That's not a question in the game.
I have a question here real quick. Because Crinkled says in chat that the no XP from questing is nothing more than theory crafting from the forum.
Right, it is. We have no idea. Yeah, we don't know.
Yep.
We have no clue. As a matter of fact, I remember, maybe I'm mistaken, but I remember when they were showing off some things, I remember seeing a little experience, and it's hard to judge how much that is because those percentages aren't in the game yet, right? So I just think sometimes people get a little too caught up
That's
on...
my confusion.
Yeah.
Because this is being talked about as if it's factual,
It's not.
as if it's in Pantheon, this is Pantheon's vision. And I'm like, I've never heard
They've never said that, yeah.
That's why I asked the question. I said, is this what Pantheon is proposing?
No.
That's when I asked that question.
These are just people... You know, here's what happens. It's been in development a long time, and people just have... They've designed what they think Pantheon is in their brain, and it's not necessarily what Pantheon really is anymore. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's this weird thing that happens.
The most they've said is they don't want quest hubs.
Right, there will be no quest hubs. Yeah, guaranteed. Yeah. Right.
I think that's the only thing they've nailed down.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for clearing that up, because that was definitely my confusion as you were all having this conversation. And then I see Crinkled pop that into my chat, and I'm like, well, if this is just theory crafting, why is this even being discussed?
Oh, gosh.
Right.
It is. So far, everything is theory crafting.
Yeah, almost everything is.
Almost everything. It's crazy.
It's not so much theory crafting, which it probably is, but I don't think people want the experience of where EverQuest led to.
Yeah, EG7, Daybreak, yeah, they still
just go out and do quests.
The IP.
No, that's right, Ben. That's why they don't want quest hubs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you go out and you find them randomly here and there and do it, that's fine. But they don't want you knowing, oh, there's a quest hub here that leads you to this quest hub.
Right, right. That we do know. It's not...
I got a necklace.
It's not like that. All right.
Good. Should get some gems and some dirt, too.
Yeah, be checking out. I think that's why you have more quests than us. I think because you're standing back casting, you missed out on some loot.
I got gems. Yeah, I'm picking up everything now.
There you go. That's what it was. Casters get screwed when it's free for all loot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting pings like crazy.
He's like, oh, I didn't know you guys were living this kind of life up there.
That's it. I'm making a melee.
It's like that. Do you guys remember that old commercial where the kid like gets the chicken noodle soup and he's like, I didn't know there was chicken in this.
There might not be chicken in there.
Now with 5% more chicken.
Yeah.
I was drinking, I don't know, iced tea or something the other day, and I saw on the front like this huge advertising. Now with 5% juice. I'm like, what the hell am I drinking then?
What was it before?
Yeah.
Concentrate, yeah.
That's so funny.
5%.
That's you're bragging about that, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't this? It's called apple juice. That cracks me up too. They'd be like, I'm gonna go buy some apple juice. Like, well, that's what you think you're buying. 5% of that is apple.
Yeah.
Is apple juice.
Genetically modified flavor.
I remember one time I tried. We had a big, huge grapevine. And I thought I was going to make some delicious juice, you know, with it. That is not how that works. That was gross.
That was probably wild grapes. Those are not going to be tasty.
Wild grapes are sour.
It did not taste good, I'll tell you that. Nobody drank it. I was like, okay, well, we just wasted a lot of grapes.
Oh. So I got all my gems. This game's easy, and I'm getting knights.
Oh, you still need the kill quest too. Okay.
And I need one more necklace.
That's why you have so many. Okay.
Yeah,
Copy that.
yeah.
That makes sense now.
You went and getting the
And I
loot.
just got my 8 necklaces. This game's the easy one. only one on the quest.
I don't mind a couple
Oh, looks
questions
like I
around the
need
grouping
gems,
areas to
too.
give some more goals for the group.
You're not the only one, Bounty.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've been emailing them, trying to get the info. Yep, trying to get them the database, which will give them everything they need to wrap this server up.
Got a bunch of ninja looters in
Get
this
it to the
group.
point that it was
Yeah.
when it shut down.
You don't give me a need before agreed loot system. I'm
Yeah.
gonna ninja the shit out of everything.
Toxic,
Yeah.
toxic ninja looters.
Toxic.
You can't even help it, dude. It's just like natural. You
Yeah,
see
it
shiny,
is
you click.
natural.
You know.
Absolutely.
Click it.
Click, get mine. My precious.
Might have something for me. Click.
It's my birthday.
It might be the best item in the game.
So yeah, I got like prophets and dust, oracles of dust, and lone worthy prophets. I need still 4. Yeah, there we go. 4 of 8, 4 of 8. So
Yeah, I need Kabbalists, Filers, and Knights.
Yeah, they're all in the same area, so we just have to wait for the respawn.
What's your opinion on all that questing stuff, Maduros? What do you think?
Well, I think over time, developers have gravitated for quests to be ways to get lore in the hands of the players.
Okay. Agreed.
And the quest XP, so the lore is for you as a person, but what about your character then?
Yeah.
Like that's what the experience was for.
Right.
I agree that quest hubs are a problem for sure.
Yeah. Good idea,
And-
though. You know what I mean? Like, it moves you through the world. It makes you go to the different... It kind of leads you where you need to go next. I
Yeah.
totally get it.
I think the rewards are too great on those chain quests.
yeah. And you know what? I would even say I would be okay with quest hubs if it was like 1 or 2 quests
Yeah.
and move
No.
the story along.
If I can point you towards the later parts of Lord of the Rings Online, because I'm in Rohan and Gondor right now, it very much has moved away from the original quest hub design that's in the early stages of the game, because by the time you get to late Rohan and Gondor, what they have are regions, and there are multiple regions within a zone, per se, right? Or a big landscape. And each region contains within it 20 to say 30 quests, but they are all part of a chain that leads you throughout the region. And it's been taking me 2 to 3 gaming sessions, so 12 to 15 hours to complete a region. and I'm doing about 30 quests throughout the scope of that 30 hours. And instead of it being one quest hub with like 30 quests, it's one singular chain that's just leading me to multiple locations throughout the region as I help
Good morning, truck
the
station.
people who live there with whatever is plaguing that region. And so I'm getting, you know, like a sort of contained storyline for 3 gameplay sessions each time I log in, where I'm completing quests, but I'm not doing it in a hub format. I'm doing it in a chain format that is giving me storyline and XP.
And I love that, by the way.
It's very the later stage Lotro is so different than like up to and including all the way through the early stages of Rohan. It's still very much quest hub oriented. But by the time I got to late Rohan, it's switched over, and now in Gondor, it's entirely region-based, which is, it's almost like it's a different game.
Well,
I would so refreshing the way they do it.
I would argue, too, that I think even an early game in Lord of the Rings, like, I think they did it in a good way, because there are quest hubs, technically, but, like, it's so well-defined that you know those are fluff quests, you know what I mean? You're not confused, you're not, like... It's not like World of Warcraft where, like, there's lore just randomly. You don't even know. You know what I mean? There may be lore in this quest. Maybe not. You don't really know. They're not marked or specified. But Lord of the Rings, you know, like, this is a story. This is going to be very lore. This is leading me through the story. This one, all these others are going to be extra. Now, some of the extra quests, though, in Lord of the Rings, if you just pick a random one, chances are it's probably going to be something kind of cool, though. You know, like, it's not just going to be... nothing happens, or you don't see anything exciting, or you know what I mean? It all adds value, I feel like, to the game.
If I'm not hitting my quest journal limit because I hit a quest hub, you know, that's what I'm looking for. I really want 2-3 quests max, and move me along the story in a meaningful way.
I feel like
Make
you really
the quests
can.
Longer,
Yep.
but less of them, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The reward's got to justify the longer quest, and that
Maybe,
yeah. Depends. You know, there's many ways to do that. Could be faction, could be.
But if you're out there killing creatures to do the quest, you are getting XP from the kills.
Sure.
So you're getting 2 birds with 1 stone.
And that reminds me of what you just said of WoW Classic. It was more about, like, because people would be like, dang, like, and I do it too, everybody does it, but you'll be like, why is these boards not dropping liver? Well, because they want you to kill a ton of them to get the freaking kill quest experience, right?
Yep.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That was part of their balance when they made WoW Classic, was you're going to have to kill a ton of these, so...
And if you're understanding that, hey, I'm getting 80% of my quest XP, like, quote-unquote, from the kills, then you have to... accept that.
Now, what I can't stand is when you get almost no experience from killing. Like, dude, that makes me not want to kill anything. I'm gonna act crazy. I'm gonna be doing gymnastics around these mobs, trying not to kill one. You know?
Right. I want feel like it's worth killing them.
Yes, I hate it when games do that.
I think the same can be said if the quest doesn't give enough experience, though, either.
Yeah,
sure.
I think you're right for a lot of people too. I think a lot of people. Because you see it, right? You see it when a game's new and they didn't balance the quest XP right, and you'll hear people being like, dude, what's the point of even doing these quests?
Right.
You know?
You've spent 8 hours doing quests, and your buddy who'd spent 8 hours doing grinding is like 5 levels ahead of you.
Yep. So I don't know.
There's a way you can make the rewards worth it without it having to be XP. Not to say it's never XP, but you can make the reward worth doing the killing and the going to a new area. I think it has to be.
Maybe it's just lazy programming, but what you're talking about though is they would have to program in that a quest gives an item
like Heritage
for every
Quest and Epic
class
Quest.
in the game
I do
to make
too.
it worthwhile for that person.
I do too.
Or faction.
Gilbert's two-handed candle content
But if
quest
somebody's already
that was being loaded down with pointless shores explored as you want,
there wouldn't be a point unless then there was an item or money attached to it or something else.
It does take you from quest sub to quest sub, but they usually follow a story.
Reward.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was just thinking too, Matt, is like, you know, if you get a quest and it's for like a fighter, I'm a scout, we'll make that quest specifically allow you to choose an item for that class. Even though it's the same quest, I might get a dagger, a tank might get a sword and a shield, you know.
Right.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's okay just to be like, hey, this is me. But I just think it's okay if, like, that's what that quest was for, right? So, you know, that's for a fighter. So it'd be more like, I think if you do that, though, you got to make sure you also have a quest for a mage type, right? And then so everybody grabs their version and you all go out together and knock it out, you know? Like, hey, let's help him get his mage one, we'll help the fighter get his.
Like armor quests you're talking about, Nathan?
Sure, I'm not gonna lie. I personally feel like questing for experience and then giving armor on top of it is too much, because that promotes like this constant gear change, which makes getting new gear not even cool anymore, you know?
Right, and they said they're not really, they're against that.
They're against that. You get a good piece with some good stats, that's a
You're
good
gonna have it a
piece.
while.
Yeah, it's a good piece. Like, it's not going to be replaced immediately, unless you just happen to get really lucky and you do find something better, you know?
Right.
But that won't be the normal.
So all my kill quests are done, so I don't know who else needs kill quests here, if anyone.
Any necklaces
I'm
or
done.
gems?
Okay, so
Have
you're
necklaces
just getting
and gems
gems and
now?
necklaces? I think the gems drop from any of these, right?
Oh yeah.
It seemed pretty quick.
I think he's done with those too. Aren't you, Danny?
I think so.
Yeah.
I had a lot of pings at the beginning.
Bit late today, but here I am. What's up, Alex?
So I need to run
Not sure
out.
anyone can even balance the time sync aspect. Questing, grinding, profession, XP, leveling can't possibly be equal in time. Good morning, Rico. Also, the hunter system in Guild Wars 1 was cool, where you would talk to the hunter. He would just tell you we're having problems with these types of mobs in the area as long as you were in the... What do you think would be a good fix for the armor replacement? Just not as much. Like, you know, make them good pieces that are more rare, and when you get one, it's a big deal. That's what I think. There's tons of no or low stat armor out there, you know. But when you get one that actually has stats or a proc or whatever, that's like a really big deal. Like, you're gonna you're gonna have that a long
Working out
time.
there, huh?
Good.
You're gonna remember where you got it from, you know. You can have a
It's like a
memory
hacker.
attached to that
They're hacking.
piece of gear, you know.
Yeah, he's getting his run speed skill up.
Got a question for you guys. In an MMO, it seemed like a lot of the games recently has, you know, a control, you know, to the broker, to the mail, just in your UI alone. Would you rather have that or actually go to a broker, go to a mailbox? How do you feel about that?
I like
Sure.
I like WoW Classic, right? You got to go to the mailbox. You got to go to an auctioneer. Now, there's not just one in the whole world, you know, but I like that. That feels like a good, like, okay, the group's over for the day, but I still want to play a little longer. I know. I'll go to check my mail. I'll auction off my stuff, and you know, it's like a good little. It's a good little before I begin or look for a group, or while I'm looking for one, or where everybody's done, and you know what I mean. I like that. I think that's a good.
Gives you more something to do.
Yeah, it gives you a little something extra to do. And I think it's
And it
kind of
makes
fun.
the world feel living.
Yeah.
It's not just a static UI. You're not playing from your UI.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if it's a super old game, you know what I mean? Like, that's... Like, I think you can get away with it when your game is freaking 20 years old, right? Like, just put the freaking mailbox in the UI. Like, nobody cares anymore. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, well, I
almost
think
everybody's
the other
playing for
problem
nostalgia.
is too, for example, Lord of the Rings Online. It's like inventory management's a mini game in
Oh,
that game.
jeez, yeah.
And if you didn't have, like, that's one benefit of being a VIP, because then you get that VIP item
Oh yeah.
that allows you to sell while you're out in the world. It's like
Yes.
that's necessary, but it's only necessary because that's how they develop the game.
Yes. Yes, I 100% agree.
I agree on that too.
Oh.
Yeah, but
I-
otherwise, yeah, I think going back to a town and
I literally have that VIP option open in the bottom right of my screen, and I'm selling after every fight.
Yeah.
Selling all my grays.
You just about have
after
to.
every fight.
Yeah.
Because it's just overwhelming to have all those things that they do for those rep quests and everything else. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, and then you get all those like scrolls for all the different crafting
Oh,
professions.
jeez, yeah.
And if you want to hold
Yes.
on to them, then well,
Yeah.
man,
Man, and those are reward boxes, man. Jeez. Those get on my nerves, dude. You'll open it, you'll get like 50 things. Like, okay, dude. Did you have to give me this much? I don't have room for this stuff.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's not even exciting anymore. It's like, I don't want your crap. Leave me alone.
I'm scared to open them.
Yeah, me too.
It's funny you mentioned that. I actually went back and started to play Guild Wars 2, and it seemed like everything you get is a clickable box that gives you like 20 items.
Yeah.
And you don't have the inventory space to even get.
Yeah.
Because you're level 10. And you're like, what the heck?
It would be like you've got one fridge in your house, and somebody's like, "Hey, I'm gonna bring you some food," you know, and they
I
bring
slaughtered a cow.
Yeah, and they bring like a whole dumpster truck filled with groceries. It's like, bro, now I'm stressed out, like, because I don't have nowhere to put this stuff, you know.
I hate inventory mini games.
Yeah, it's over. They overkill. They overkill with that stuff. Let's see. Area, you would get a percentage increase in experience for killing them. You didn't have to run back and forth. Oh, we're talking about Guild Wars 1. You have to run back and forth. It was just
in our cash shop.
a place where you fight in the area. They effectively got rid of kill quests completely for
Those
XP
carry-all
buff when you did
bags are like,
story-based
what,
quests.
$20, I think.
Play
when they're not
MMOs
on
for
sale.
perspective and RPG, so I like having
You
things that
have
make
to
me
buy a few
feel more
if you're gonna
immersive.
play
I
the
agree.
game at all seriously.
Paid for quality of life, yep.
You have to buy their cash.
That's the new way to go,
Yes.
too, for MMOs. Pay for quality of life.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's going for. All right, Renfield's back.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris was going out to run errands, and she couldn't get her bank app to work, and so there was some troubleshooting that I had to do with her.
Where are we headed now? We've
I got 13 active quests.
the 5 brothers to slay.
Yeah.
If we go low level to high level, we need shimmering black pearls. It says go to the west and present the inactive pearl to the nearest portal. That's in this direction. Probably that glowing red portal over there.
Going in hot.
Oh, I would not fly down there. Those are 3 dots. Or maybe that's that one's of 3 dots. That's
Yeah,
a
he's
name.
a little unranked name.
Alright, I'm gonna dive bomb.
Let's just say I'm going in hot.
Pull up.
Okay, I've presented my pearl.
Which quest is that?
The Unholy Sacrament Part 2.
And how did you do it? Did you find it
In your inventory, there's a
Pearl.
In your
That's
inventory, there's
awfully
a
personal.
yeah. You have to present your pearl to the light.
Just right click it in your bag. Huh? Get our buffs
There
up.
we go.
Right click it in your bag. The pearl?
Yep.
Like a gray.
Fantasy Star Online 2 is really bad about that. Yep, that's the problem with free to play. For sure. The thing I would like to see more in
I
MMOs
guess
are
I
willing to play
haven't
for
gotten
exploring to
the
go
pearl
off the
yet.
beaten path and find far off places.
It's a gray.
That's what Pantheon's good at,
inactive
for sure.
Black pearl, and it becomes a shimmering black pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't find it
Thanks,
easily either. Yeah, I know. And as quest items disappear, in between your slots, then they get filled. You don't know where it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
And that is a quality of life feature I love in modern games, where quest items show up on the quest tracker on the right side of my
Thank
window.
you. I agree with that.
And quest items should go in their own bag, like not in my normal bag.
Yeah.
Yes, I did like that.
But also make it easy to see where that is, because I played some games where there's quest items, but you have to dig trying to find where the heck do I even get to my quest items.
It wouldn't even have to be a bag. It could be like a window in your character.
Yeah, it should be. Should be attached to the character. Yep, the paper doll.
Yes. I hope Pantheon does that.
They're gonna have to do something with inventory. I'm telling you, they're gonna have to do something.
If they're doing limited, yeah.
Yeah, with all this like gear specific stuff, like
I'm a hoarder.
I like the. I know a lot of people probably won't agree with this, but I love the Final Fantasy 14 where you had like a whole slots for your chest, for your arms, for your hands. Like, I like that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even worry about it.
Is that blade an upgrade for you?
I don't know.
Does it show you what I looted?
Yeah, let me see if I can look
Yeah,
at
it
it.
Because anytime they limit your inventory space, that is the easiest thing to monetize in a cash shop.
Oh, yeah.
Game.
Oh my gosh.
Hence why I was talking about Guild Wars 2. Why you click one thing, it monetizes everything in your inventory, so you have to buy their bags.
No, it's
Go
not
buy
an
bags.
upgrade.
Okay.
That's like instantly stealing my credit card.
All right, there's a follow-up to the Shimmering Black Pearl quest, which is a group quest. I need to send my brother a message because the patch for WoW is available for those of you who have your Blizzard launcher open.
Nice.
Does it auto update for you guys, or
It
Yeah,
does
if
for
you
me
got
'cause I
that
have it
thing.
set to do so.
Yeah.
It's a 6.6 gigabyte update.
Oh my.
I was thinking about this the other day. You guys remember when, like EverQuest 1 and a lot of these first gen MMOs came out, and we barely had the hard drive space to actually have.
Yeah, you'd have to pick and choose. Like, so
Yes.
I remember that. I would only be able to have a few games on at a time.
I can't tell you how many times I had to uninstall Baldur's Gate.
That was a huge game, yes.
Yeah, first time, yeah.
Because a new patch came out for EQ or something I was playing at the time.
Did you guys all finish your Shimmering Black Pearl over there?
Yep.
Just a
It
quick
says I have
turn
to
in?
go to the red pearl.
Yeah, that was that red.
Sorry, the red
glowing-
portal.
Yeah, that's where you guys are all at, and just right click it in your inventory.
Yes, I did.
I did.
Once you're done with that, there's a turn in back here at the outpost, and then a follow up to that. It looks like.
I am having issues. What is going on?
The main.
I blame that Finland guy.
Well, I am stuck on the ground.
Oh, like on your horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to get off of mine earlier and hop back on. It was acting weird like that.
Or
What is-
run up a hill and fall down from a distance. That
That's
fixed
true.
it for me before.
That's a great
I
fix.
think I need to do that because I can't
It
jump.
is a great fix.
My
It
jump
is,
is
actually.
You're
broken.
grounded. Just fall off a ledge. You're not grounded anymore, buddy.
I forgot. I got earrings I need to put on.
Okay, Ren, my quest says complete Shimmering Black Pearl, locations, pupil, blah blah, and then red portal is not checked.
What is the? Do you have a completion on your tracker? I don't have the quest anymore, so I can't.
Gotta find a cliff to jump off of.
Well, it says go to the west and present the inactive pearl, which I did,
Okay.
and it shows
Oh.
complete, but under locations there's a check mark for red
Chunking
portal.
fixed
that's
it.
Oh
One
no,
second.
you need to come back to Pupil Gamma Rai, because that's the turn in to progress it to the next stage.
Oh, Nathan, now I'm stuck.
I know. I chunked and it
All your
fixed it,
fault.
by the way. When I chunked over it, reloaded. Or Xenix reloaded my character. I don't know what happened. It looked like I chunked, and suddenly it was fixed. Okay, let's see. Where are you guys?
Back at the outpost.
Back at the, yeah.
There's not a lot of cliffs around here to jump off of. It's just run until you chunk.
Yep, that did it. Got a quick little hitch, and now I can fly.
Oh, through the chunks.
Yeah.
Did you drink well last night? A bird's home greet you each morning.
The Blighted Lands. Love exploration, exploring Stars Galaxy. Right now, I actually found frogs in their lake, and they look so tasty. Yeah, Stars Galaxy has good exploration, mainly just because it's Star Wars, and you're on a planet from the movies, and you know, you see creatures.
Would
And
you guys rather have instance dungeons or open dungeons?
open.
Open.
Both. I
agree
want
with
both.
I want both too.
Maybe with bosses instance is about as far as I would want.
I'm happy with the EverQuest 2 method of it, which is everything overland is open world and contested, and then we have instances. Now they also have open dungeons in EQ2, but I would actually move away from that and just only have, I have overland dungeons, which I think is what Nathan was referring to last night when we were talking about World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Open world dungeons, which are part of the seamless open world, but all of the major instances being instanced. All the major dungeons, I should say, being instanced. That's my fan. I have no patience and no time to deal with other people who are in my way when it comes to questing. I want to be able to log on and get my updates for me and my group. And the overland is great for questing, but for any sort of progression, I need to be able to have a way to progress at my own pace without interruptions. Full stop.
Yeah, that's because it's a quest-based game too, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. On a quest-based game, it's annoying to have to wait for pops and wait for, people are still on your... It's exactly the same on those quests where you got to collect stuff off the ground or whatever as harvesting annoyances, right? Where people freaking grabbing things that you were headed for. Or, it's just annoying, dude.
Do we all need the, not to sidetrack, but do we all need the graveyard now?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
What quest is
that? Blighted Lands. Just literally just called.
Dynamic events, yes, but I wish they didn't just
Yeah.
cycle off and
State.
possibly even grow in scope if players
yeah,
didn't
I
get
remember this
involved.
one.
Yeah.
You definitely need a group for this one.
What I also enjoy is a beautifully randomly generated weather system with a full-blown day and night cycle, and I also think the wildlife is super important in the way the animals behave, etc. Yeah.
This one's solo. Nope.
Chad is asking for Xenix to show up and patch the mobs to kill our group again like he did us last night.
I'm sure
It'd
there's
be
some
nice. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say this. I'm sure there's some confused people who've come in because Corso came in and was like, "Wait a second, this doesn't look like World of Warcraft Classic because I never switched my stream over."
Oh, the title. and
Still
stuff.
They're very
sensitive.
astute.
All right, so it must be this right down here.
So I'm hoping when Pantheon, as they're developing areas to fight in, their open dungeons, all that stuff, that they're designing it so other people aren't considered in your way.
Yeah.
I would like them to be more group centric and able to play with the people around you without them feeling like an annoyance.
Yeah.
So, what do you propose? Because if you have a quest,
Well, that's it.
Well, you're
getting
talking.
rid of
Going away from class.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's not necessarily true. Let's take a very specific example. There are quests in the game, so let's say that you do have a perception quest you're pursuing, and there's about 30 other people doing that same one. So continue whatever your question was, because it is
my
still
question
possible.
was-
It is still possible.
what if there are multiple people who are on the same quest, same step of a quest, same whatever,
Right.
and you're forced to go to a zone where everyone needs the same objective.
Okay.
How are other people not going to be a hindrance in an open world environment where we're
Right.
being forced to deal with contested resources?
I think the quests
is
are
why they're
also open,
getting away
right?
from that.
I think the quests are fairly open. Like, instead of it being like, now there may be some, right? Surely there will be, but
Maybe the
I
tasks.
think most of
they
the
talked
quests
about.
are much more open. Like, as far as
I don't know what you're meaning by that.
like, for example, you don't have to go to this specific cave and kill only these kind of skeletons, right? It'll be more like, I need something the skeletons drop, right? And I'm making stuff up here, but I think they're designing things more open, because something they talk about a lot is sometimes you will go, this is part of the gameplay, you'll be like, hey, let's go to this dungeon. You go there, you're like, you know what? There's a lot of people here. I don't want to deal with these people. Guess what? There's tons of dungeons and tons of things to do in the area. Let's find another place and let's go do that, which forces you to explore, forces players not to follow the same linear path.
But you also just said, I can't complete the objective that I want.
No. I was talking about something different. The requests are very open. Like, it is kind of silly. Like, oh, I need that skeletons from just here, right? Well, why? Why can't I go kill skeletons over here where they're, same freaking mob?
Well, I understand your argument, but my point is, let's take it to the example of there's a specific item in this dungeon which was perception based, or better yet,
up a boss,
a named boss that drops the item that I need.
Right.
And he spawns in this dungeon, and he's contested.
Yep.
And I show up, and there are 50 other people who also need the same item from the same boss. What is the solution to ensure that everyone gets the credit that they need when they want it, when they need it, so that they don't have to wait in line for their turn?
Yep. There is no solution. Not at this particular time anyway, and I don't think there will be.
Right.
Because
they have alluded that they don't want a single mob spawning the single thing you need, that it could be more randomized, so that one group can't sit in one spot and monopolize it. So anywhere in the dungeon that mob
but I'm not talking about one spot. I'm saying the item that the boss drops is the one you need to advance your epic weapon
but it's
quest.
in a random spot.
So you would just
don't know where he's gonna pop.
So the solution is you would just go in that same cave with the other 50 people, and you would just hope that you see the mob before they do, because they couldn't camp it. So, you would have just as good of a chance as the other 49 people.
It's a luck of the draw.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going to prefer instancing every time, because I ain't got time for that shit. Like, I don't have time to be fighting other people for mobs. I want to know that I'm going to be able to log on, get the update that I want, when I want
put on rails and given it just for you in 10 minutes.
Yeah, although I totally understand Ramfel's point of view, but I think the fun is in that it's exciting. I got it, because there's not a lot of quests. So
have every of you ever done the mythical raid content in EverQuest 2 when it was on par? That was not spoon-fed, but it was all instance content, to where your guild had to go in and do X, Y, and Z in a specific order, but it was persistent zones that were saved to your group, the lockouts that World of Warcraft has. That is not spoon-fed. So I don't want that to be a mistaken belief that an instance is automatically spoon-fed content.
Well, no. What I think you're thinking of it. I don't think he meant it was easy. I think he meant like you can get it. Like, it's always available for you to do it if you have the skill level, right? And there's
absolutely.
So you like that. I don't, because I think there's no adventure in that. It's like, I like there to be like, I like to remember that moment, and I'm not saying you don't in that situation. It depends on how well designed it was, right? So, like, World of Warcraft has some dungeons that are super well designed. You're gonna remember them because they were really cool, Or you can create memories by like everybody remembers all these drops and who drops them, etc. in EverQuest, because it was a big deal to be able to do that, right? And I think that's more the feeling that Pantheon's going for, but they're trying to eliminate the nastiness that a lot of the nastiness of camping, etc.
Let me pose the next question to you. In the system that you're proposing, if I have a guild that has 500 players, and I go in with all 500 of my players, and we lock down that dungeon so that no other guilds can progress the content because there's only one version of it, it's not instanced.
Sure.
That's a fair system. That's a fair way to play under the system where open world contested mobs exist. It might not be morally fair, but it is fair under the terms of first come, first serve. There are no camps. The mob can spawn anywhere.
Right.
So in that scenario, if a guild is permacamping a zone,
Okay.
how is that fair to everyone else? And are you accepting of that given the limitations of an open world contested system?
Well, and as Nathan said, they're not just necessarily going to be in one cave. So even though you may lock down that zone, there are maybe 2 other dungeons you can go to get that item.
Maybe.
No, I think always. No, I think always. That's kind of their promise.
Yeah.
I think
That's what they've talked about.
So,
that
like,
you can't just
even-
camp one thing and hold it.
Yeah, and here's the other thing I'll say too that hardly anybody talks about, and I'm gonna go back to a point you make all the time, Renfell. Having that style of gameplay versus everything instance, right? So that it's fair. Why can't we have a game where it's not like that, right? So why can't we have a niche game where we get what we want? Because everybody does the instancing, everybody does that. So like, why can't we have a game where we don't do that, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't have one.
Absolutely.
We don't have
Oh,
one.
like that.
So, you know, it's like, it's one of those things where sometimes you're going to get aggravated. I think that's part of an MMO is like sometimes like you don't get what you want. But when you do get what you want, it feels better because you don't always get what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because you
This-
worked at it. and tried
So
to
it's
get
niche. It is
work
niche,
hard
and
for
they
it.
need to embrace that.
they
Yes,
do.
they do. Thank you, Nathan, for using the N-word.
Yeah,
Is afraid of it.
that is hilarious. The N-word
Yeah, they are
niche.
afraid of it.
Well, and I understand why. It's a PR thing, and I get it, why. But, I mean, there's a way to embrace it in the right way, where you're like, hey, guys, you've had plenty of this, but you've not had this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you go to, for me, I know everybody's not like this, but, like, if we're going to go somewhere to eat, right, and we're like, oh, we're going to go to a traditional freaking insert culture here restaurant, and it's something you eat all the time. I'm not that excited. You know what I mean? Unless they tell me it's like the best ever. But when somebody says we're going to go eat at this and it's something I've never had before, oh, I get excited. Or I haven't had in a really long time. You know what I mean? So I think that Pantheon really should lean into niche because, to be honest, everything we talk about is niche. You know, it's like nobody does it like that anymore. So even the games that used to do it, they've changed their game, and it's not anymore like that, right? So
They should be happy with 30,000 strong fans that
I
will,
agree.
play this game on one server if that's all it takes. Like, stop trying to hit 10 million subs.
And what's the point? You tell me, what's the advantage of having 5 million people play your game on 1,000 servers versus 100,000 people playing on 5 servers, right? If the servers are pretty much capped out, what's the difference?
Yeah, I hope they embrace the niche mentality.
The player has no advantage to 7 million people playing World of Warcraft. They have an advantage to how many people play on their server.
Right, and that actually waters down their gameplay because they are trying to get more and more and more every quarter
Yes.
and water the game down and make your experience
Thank you,
suckier and
Click.
suckier.
Appreciate it, man.
That's why I was very interested why my Embrace the Niche video appeared to trigger some people.
Yeah. No, I think you're dead
I
on.
agree with niche.
And Brad McQuaid, if he was alive today,
I
would not be happening.
quoted-
That
I
wouldn't be
quoted
happening.
Brad. Did you see? I left
Yeah.
the note.
Yep.
On
No,
your
that's
video.
you were the reason, you were the inspiration for that video, Bounty, because that quote
Thank you.
sent me off. I got directly accused by some people who are heavy into the Pantheon community for misquoting Brad from
I know.
2014.
No, I
interviews.
got
Well,
two.
you guys changed my mind too, because I was thinking 100% on the PR side, right? Up until not that long ago, a few weeks ago when we started talking about it, I was like, well, yeah, you don't want to use that word. You like, that's not good. That's not healthy for them to grow, etc., and get new people to play. And now I'm like, actually, you know what? Yes, it is. It
Now watch,
actually
if
is
you haven't-
healthy. It's different.
It is a 40.
You know?
It's a 45-minute long video, but the video that I linked to at the beginning of that, where Josh Stripe-Hayes interviewed the director of Path of Exile.
It is easier to
Talk,
hold
I mean,
better
that's a
good
great
community if
interview
it's
talking about
not
what,
gargantuan,
why
too.
people need
Good
to
point,
stop
Raish.
being afraid of niche, because a lot of games are niche, and how they went, from 2 guys to a Kickstarter to 12 people to 24 people to then now Tencent buys them for, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they get to expand their team and retain 25% ownership and all creative control and all these cool things, all because they focused on being niche and built up and scaled up from there. They also talked about, because one of the things that a lot of people like to throw out is say New World was a failure because it lost X amount of players within the first 4 months and server merges and everything else. And as Chris from Path of Exile was pointing out, that's normal retention rates for MMORPGs these days, to only retain. And by the way, Brad McQuaid also mentioned this in an interview, which I mentioned in my niche video. You retain 3 to 5% of the monetized that you retain. It could be as high as 8 or 10%, but 5% is the average. So looking at New World having lost 95% of its player base in the first 6 months does not mean that that's a failed game. It just means that it's retaining the normal amount of players that a game would normally have, and 40 to 50,000 average players is extremely healthy for a niche title.
I am going to play Wrath of the Lich King Classic.
Absolutely.
As
long as they've been designing
I've been streaming WoW Classic
for
a lot.
team that can support that size.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hit the nail around the head there.
We're talking about catch of the day. This is our first topic we should be fishing with.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Yeah.
We've stayed here, I think, for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're having a powwow at the Soul Shrine.
All right, I'm gonna click my pearl. You guys.
Too late. Already done it.
Oh no.
Oh, nice.
What does that mean?
What if we all get credit?
Oh, everybody has to do this?
I don't know.
It's a group update.
Oh, cool.
It's a group quest.
Oh.
Evil
Yeah, it's gonna get tough.
Yeah, definitely put Nathan up there at the spawn point. I'm gonna have to mez. I'm mezzing.
No, I'm gonna die.
Medium feet. Oh no,
I'm
Pharaoh
dead.
died.
Time trick. I can only time trick one at a time, so make sure to get the one that's not a ghost.
Yeah, you guys should have an orb.
The one that's not a ghost. Heard that.
Tell me when you want me to unlock it.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
up.
Let's get Sparrow up first if we can.
Okay.
I'm up. I'm up.
I'm just going to be building hate on it.
I need mana though, so I don't know how long that'll be.
Let this be maybe our last quest for the session.
Unlocking it.
Or whatever, you know, like we get to a good spot, because I kind of need to get back to...
Yep. I got video production.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
He looks cool.
Atrocity of Rajin.
Another.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That's
boy.
a 5 dot. Hang on.
Yeah, 5
Yeah.
dot.
Let me make sure I got it. Be easy on the
Oh, my
DPS for a
girl.
second.
I'll be able to, I can res you in a sec.
I don't have snap aggro. It takes a second.
Did everybody get credit?
Did Maduro skip?
Blighted
Blighted
Lands,
Lands,
yes.
please.
Blighted Lands.
There's some wicked yellow gear on that.
That was a cool looking mob too. Look at her.
Yeah. So it looks like medium armor and axe.
2-hand?
Can't click on it.
I wonder if she's descended from trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, she's cool looking now.
She might have come from the Dark Mirror.
All right, so that was bladed. Yep, I got a check mark for
Look
that.
at her feet.
Oh
and her
yeah.
hands. She's got some scar in her blood.
Yeah, she might. I think you might be alright about that.
Alright, I'm flying back. But on a side note, one more thing I would like to point out is Bounty had suggested that, you know, Pantheon needs to lean into their niche and be happy with 30 to 50,000 subs. I don't disagree, but also people need to understand that they need to sell 1 million box copies.
Yeah. Well, New World did that. They sold 1 million.
Correct.
But that's Amazon. Yeah.
But that's a huge $250 million budget versus a team that's only so far raised around $6 million.
No.
So-
We don't know how much they've raised with.
That's just investor money.
That's just investor money. It doesn't count.
Oh, yeah.
Crowdfunding.
They've never revealed what
Yeah.
they made.
I would guess
Yeah,
it's
I'm
around
making
15,
a very-
20, maybe.
We would have to discuss where you're getting that number from.
I can show you. I didn't
Okay,
pull that
that'd
out
be
of
awesome.
nowhere.
That'd be awesome because I know what they've raised from investors, and I've made an estimate on pre-order sales, and it wasn't $10 million in pre-order sales. So that's
And this is on Pantheon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it may be closer to 10 or 12, actually.
Well, okay, pre-order sales depending on actual box prices, correct?
No, the packages.
Packages.
They're
Yeah, the
way more
pledges.
expensive.
I was about to say, I was like, wait a minute.
They're $1,000 VIP packages.
They have said how many alpha sales they've made, though. That is in a newsletter,
Mm-hmm.
which is 8,000.
Yeah, that's alpha. Yep. Which is 200 a pop, I believe.
Didn't they come back and say that was just a general statement? Is that the one I'm thinking you mean? Where they gave a number and then said, no, we're not saying that was exactly it. We just kind of rounded out a number.
I think those are their pre-alpha.
Yeah, because
testers.
they've been using that number a long time. They're like around 8,000. You know, people are going to hop in alpha, so you know, network code has to be good. Blah blah blah. They've been using that number for a long time, so it's not accurate. Because
Well,
I
even
know
if-
they've gotten a lot more alpha sales over the past few
Even
months.
if they've done that, Shroud of the Avatar did $12 million and 100,000 sales.
Okay.
And it never was able to retain more than 5,000 players, and that was Richard Garriott. And I'm not saying here or there. I'm just saying that was another huge MMORPG name, and that game had a hard time retaining 5,000 subs.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of that was poor design.
I agree. Yeah.
That didn't retain people.
It wasn't even really an MMO, and
Right. It was more of a land thing.
which, by the way, that's what Pantheon was going to be more like. It was going to be more
Right.
just chill, not as
But
outrageous.
the million box sales is a mandatory number if they want to have 30 to 50,000, and that's a big hill to climb. Which I think that's why Maduros likes to poke buttons. I know I like to poke buttons as well about the niche commentary, because you can't be niche if you want 1 million sales. Like,
Yeah,
you
and
gotta.
And I just want to re-say this because it is so true. It's easier for people to not understand Pantheon and the draw until you played it, and it's just like, dude, it just changes your world. You know, you're just like, dude, this is what I freaking wanted for so long. Like, this is what I thought MMOs would become. Like, they're just nailing the freaking gameplay loop. It's so good. We just haven't had it in so long that, like, there's nothing even, I can't even be like, here, it's like this, because there isn't anything, you know? Like, that's why it's so hard after a freaking session of getting to play that you just don't want to play
go back to
nothing
anything
else. You
else.
really don't. You just dread it. You're like, oh, God, now I got to go play. And it was a game you were having fun with right up until you got back into Pantheon. And then when you play Pantheon, you're like, oh, man, now I got to go play this crap. Like,
there's almost this VIP depression.
It really is.
Afterwards.
It really is.
It's crazy.
It really is. You actually, like, you have to, like, be like, well, it's better than doing nothing. That's what you have to tell yourself.
Good for the casters. I got a 3% increase in spell damage for you casters in my song.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, I agree with what Kuros is saying. Pantheon is already the best game I've ever played. And I sent that to Joppa so many times. I'm like, dude, it's already. And there's so many things, right? We found bugs. We know that these certain features aren't in the game, blah, blah, blah. But it's already the best MMO I've ever played. Like, that's crazy.
Well, and I know we're winding down, and we can definitely continue this as we migrate towards our podcast conversation.
Yes.
Thing that's going to be launching soon. Which we haven't, we still got.
That's funny.
Yeah. Bounty code's kind of spoiled a little bit something there. Got excited.
And that's a normal reaction, Greenhouse.
I would also be thinking towards
playing is believing.
I hear a lot of
I totally
hear a
get
lot
it.
of people making those statements. It's the best thing I've ever played, which is awesome from a gameplay loop perspective. And I'm going to stretch the if, and this is where I'm going to say something that's going to put some people's backs up against the wall, which is there has never been a game in the history of game development that is not dramatically changed between the pre-alpha and the launched product. Now that's not to say it's going to get worse. It's a refinement of ideas. But here's the thing.
I agree with that.
There are people like you who say that the game right now is the best they've ever played. And then there are people like my brother, as an example, who says that what he saw 3 years ago or 4 years ago was way better than what's being produced right now, because that was something that appealed more to him versus the iterations that have happened to date. And I've seen people on the forums saying, This is not the same game that I backed on Kickstarter. This is not the same game that I played all the way back in X, Y, and Z. And then we get 3 years into the future, there's going to be people who say, this isn't what I was playing in June of 2022.
Sure.
It's not as fun as it were there. So I think as long as that everyone understands that what happens between now and launch can dramatically change. Things will get cut, things will get taken away,
Sure.
things will get, as they say, nerfed, as some people like to look at
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and refined
Even
as those
after
ideas
launch.
get refined.
Even
Correct.
after launch. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it never
As
ends.
long-
That's the beauty of an MMO, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
But here's why I feel safe for Pantheon than any other project, because those tenants haven't moved, budged, changed. They haven't altered it. There's no amendments, and those tenants are what makes the game good. That is the spirit of the game. And
the
until
philosophy behind it.
and until a day would come where their backs are against the wall, right, and they have to make a crappy decision, right, then those tenants aren't going to budge. And I think, and this is kind of screwed up to say, reality sometimes isn't beautiful, and I'm not poetic in my wording, but Brad McQuaid passing away really solidifies those. Like, it would be very dirty to change them now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he's got friends and coworkers are trying to keep that.
And they're involved, right? And they, you know,
Right.
Steve Clover coming out of retirement just to be like, bro, we're making this happen. Like, you know,
This is happening.
yeah,
And it's not because they feel like they have to. It's because they actually want to.
yeah,
They do. They want to.
they want it. Yep. And that's a difference. I can't think of another MMO in development or currently out, either way, that has held onto their values, which would be the tenants, you know, and with this much fervor, right? With this much passion.
I would argue that just to throw this out there for the sake of playing devil's advocate, if you look at, as an example, after Tolkien died, Christopher Tolkien was the torchbearer of his father's legacy because his father was gone. So that vision, it may have been set down in writing, but he could only interpret it so far before it was no longer his father's vision, but it was his own vision. Which
Good
is
point.
now that's what Jop is.
And I do believe that.
Now,
Yep.
if, God forbid this happens, but if Joppa is no longer around for whatever reason, and I'm not saying that anything would happen to him, but things
We're
can
humans.
change, things can happen, we're human beings.
Life
That
happens.
next person is going to have a different interpretation of those core
No,
values.
you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that will happen. Let's just be totally honest.
Someday.
One day, that will happen, right?
Exactly,
A company like Daybreak will eventually own Pantheon Rise Fallen. I mean, it's just the way that's how things go. I'm sorry, but
Unfortunately,
it
yeah.
sucks, but it is true because people get offers that they are too good to refuse. You know, just life happens, man. And if Pantheon, let's put it this way, if Pantheon is a big success, right? Like bigger than we probably think, right? Let's say it gets a couple of million freaking active players for a year after launch, right? Which would mean it is just a powerhouse at that point, right?
Oh, it'd be me.
Which I don't believe that will happen, but let's just say it does. Dude, some tempting offers are going to be thrown across their table, and life-changing, you know what I'm saying, amounts of money will be thrown right at their feet. And
Right.
I'm not
Money
I
does-
believe in this team, but I mean, dude, everybody has a price. Every human being, there's an amount of
And the
money
amount of effort
or
they've had to pour into
Right.
this. I mean, it's going to take its toll eventually.
look, look how much your job
could
has
be out.
aged in the last 5 years.
Yep.
It is draining the life out of this guy.
So, and
Everybody's hungry.
I can speak to this as well because I put 7 years into
Mm-hmm.
something and am no longer at the head of it because of legal bullshit and creative differences and all sorts of other stuff. And rather than fight it, I said my life and health is worth more than the money that comes associated with it. So I've just decided to let that go through the court process rather than fight it. And I will say that over those 7 years, it may not have visually aged me so much, but I felt world weary in a way that you cannot imagine after 7 years of manhandling 20 people on a team.
That's right, Chris.
And $1 million budgets, and it's not as fun as people might think it is. It's a very demanding. You're burning the candle at both ends, and I was burning it at both ends in particular because I wasn't just the creative director; I was also the CEO of the company. So you're burning two candles at that point. At least with Visionary Realms, they've split those responsibilities between Chris and Chris, which does help divvy up the task a little bit more. But yes, he's aged a lot. It's not. It's stressful.
Yeah, it's stressful, and it's a lot of hard work. And
he's publicly said, like, if you want to make lots of money and be successful, don't make an MMO. He said that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
saying how hard it is, and this is a passion
Yeah.
project, and it will take a chunk of your life out of you.
Yeah, and Joppa takes it super seriously because his reputation is 100% on the line, right? So he said that before too. Like, hey man, this is I have to follow through with this. You know, there is no other option because of everything that's happened during the development, etc. Like, this has to happen. Like, and exactly like you say. And I'll also say this: they have picked the type of MMO they're making. No offense, everybody in chat. No offense to people in the group. But if you dig deep, you'll know what I'm saying is true. They have picked the pickiest, most elitist group of MMO players to try to satisfy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They absolutely have. We are the worst.
indeed.
We are the worst, dude. No offense. I'm one too. I am too. I'm
No
not
offense,
leaving
Nathan.
myself out.
But I've seen worse than you.
Well, yeah, but as far as like my expectations are pretty freaking high. You know what I mean? I'm not easy to just be like I'll be easy to just be like, yeah, that's good enough for now. But that's because I think Pantheon's coming, right? And I'm like, yeah, this is good for now. You know, so I'm much easier. But if Pantheon isn't everything that I believe it will be, or even mostly what I believe it will be, I won't have that other hope coming, right? So nobody's seen a non-Pantheon NAPALM.
Yeah, I'm going back to Pac-Man.
Yeah, I think my brother, I think it was when we were playing with Maduros yesterday morning during the stream when Maduros and I were playing with my brother. My brother made a very valid point of, imagine, you know, we're standing on the outside because I'm not going to pre-order,
Sure,
right? So
sure.
I can look at it and have a very critical objective, but
Sure.
other people have
And
put
it's healthy.
money in.
And it's healthy too.
Right, but you have some people who have put thousands of dollars in and years and years and years of their life. And if it doesn't pan out the way they want it to, it's going to be a severely devastating on an emotional level to them because of the fact that they've invested 8-10 years of their lives and thousands of dollars into a product that ultimately doesn't do well. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm
Yeah,
saying
but could
if
you
that-
imagine?
Right.
But let's just pretend for a second.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's-
All the
that's-
channels that have been built around it.
bills that
Yeah.
people will have to.
And just
Oh.
I think the worst part about that scenario would be, for me, would be thinking inside my head, it's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even going to be alive long enough for somebody to even attempt to make a project as cool as I wanted an MMO
Oh,
to
yeah.
be.
I'm
Right?
too old, too late for another.
It's too late,
Pantheon.
right? So it's like,
Yeah.
it's over then. You know, it's like game over.
Yep.
It basically is a game over screen for me.
Yeah, and I agree with Ren. Me and my girlfriend actually had that same conversation. Is why should we put money into a game to pre-order until
Not a pre-order, it's a pledge.
Oh, a pledge. Sorry, thank you. A pledge that we're not quite sure of. You know,
Exactly.
it's okay
Sure.
to do pledge. That's fine because you're actually helping. But there's just that fine line of, you know, what do we wait? You know, what happens if we do wait? And some people think, well, if I pledge now, I get a better deal or something like that because those pledges are pretty, you know, you spend thousands of dollars, you're going to get, you know, some nice stuff. But
So, Binlin, the reason I pledged is because it wasn't like there was 10 games out there that were all equally satisfying on paper. I see everything out there as the same remake, same boring thing. And finally, there was one thing that on paper at least resonated with me, like, oh my gosh, this is the throwback, this is the thing going back to EQ, the tenets, and it's the only thing out there. There's nothing else out there. So I thought and I'm in a position in life where I had extra spending money, so I applied it because it really is the only thing out there that on paper looked like something that would satisfy me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did feel that too, but
Yeah, so if there's 9 MMOs out there that all were close, I would sit back and see which one comes out first, which one.
$100 on each, and
Right,
you spend
exactly.
$1,000.
Yes.
It's a vote too, right? It's a vote. That's the way I looked at it. Like, I'm voting, yes, this is what I want. So
Yes.
take my money, as much as I can afford to give you. Here you go, because I'm all in. Like, do that. Do exactly that. And you got my money. Yeah.
Comes close.
Bounty, and I agree with you, Bounty, totally. And I feel the same way. There's nothing out there on paper that looks like something I want until Pantheon comes out, And I do want to pledge, but
wait till you're comfortable.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the
exactly.
next.
There's
here's-
nothing
here's
wrong
the
with
pony-
that.
Here's the follow-up question to that, because I put this video out a few weeks ago. The difference between a pledge and a pre-order. The thing that defines it for me is, and I'm not saying this would ever happen to Pantheon, but if you read the terms of service, which are the exact same terms of service that every other indie crowdfunded game out there uses, it's a pledge that can be canceled, used, never refunded, so on and so forth. And if you look at the Chronicles of Illyria scenario, that's the worst case scenario that can happen, where a company takes that money and develops something that's completely different than what was promised during the initial pledge crowdfunding fundraising component.
Kindle Unchained.
And they get away scot-free because from a legal perspective, they did deliver a product as the terms of service said that they had to. And that's the caveat, is you have to be willing to not only just want the product but trust.
Yep.
And that level that's a different bar for different people.
It's a vote, man.
And that's
you
why-
vote for what they promise, and you hope that they deliver.
Once bitten, twice shy. You've been bitten. You're going to be much more shy than me, who has never been bitten. So
Yes, exactly.
I'm about to be first time bitten by Pantheon, and guess what? If they screw me, I will never back anything in my life.
A good point.
Yeah.
By the way, I would like to also point out that for those of you who like this type of roundtable discussion, you need to stay tuned. Bounty teased it. There is something coming down the pipe. There is something coming down the pipeline very soon.
I love this whole conversation all morning. This is great.
Yeah, we're gonna base a show around this type of concept, except we'll be doing something in a game that doesn't take a whole lot of attention, and it's really just a podcast, right?
Right.
Basically, is what we got planned coming very, 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 very soon. Announcement probably by the end of the week, maybe. Phil.
As long as you do the thing.
I think I can square my side this week.
If that happens,
almost gave it away.
If that happens, then we'll probably make an announcement. I'd say when we get together for Sunday night to do our D&D stuff, do our tabletop, we'll probably just confirm everything between ourselves, and as long as that's good to go, that we can make the announcement like next Monday morning.
Yeah, thank you, Thor.
people
Yeah, a
prepped.
little less gameplay today, a little more chitter chatter.
But I wanted to say on top of what you guys had already mentioned, that the reason personally that I pledged was that trust in the team. I based it more on not what I want to see in an MMO, although that's important, but I trusted the team. I find myself a good judge of character, and when I would hear them speak on their podcasts once a month, I came to really respect the team and believe that they believe what they're saying. I was convinced because they are convinced. They know what they want. They know what they're going for. And I think in time, it will happen. I trust that it'll happen. So that's why I felt comfortable pledging. As Bounty said, we were in a position we could do that.
Right.
And I think it speaks to a lot of character too. Some of the small nuances that you notice with this team, specifically Joppa, who's kind of their lead talking guy. But really, this is kind of bled out to the whole team now, which is the common complaints. It's taken too long. Why isn't the game out yet? Blah blah blah. All these common complaints. Joppa always responds with, "I totally understand why you feel that way." And it is detrimental that we get this game out ASAP. Like, totally agree with you. The problem is, is
do it right.
we don't want a Vanguard situation. So we're not going to do that, right? So I totally understand you don't want to pledge because of, you need more and see it closer to launch and etc. Well, we'll just keep showing our progress, and different people will feel more comfortable at different times. But he's always like, I totally understand those people. And he was like, he told me one time, I don't know if I was you if I'd still be here. Mm-hmm. Just point blank, like I don't know if I would be. This has been a really long wait. Like we know it'll be worth it, but you don't know that, right? So he is very grateful for the community that's just gathered at him like hens or like chicks at a hen, like all this time, because he accepts, like, dude, this is hard to do, like to watch a game crawl for years, now I would say it's walking now, maybe even a fast walk, we'll see. We'll know that in the next couple months, but I would say now it's beginning to at least walk fast.
I have a question. How far away from alpha in Pantheon?
I believe next year.
They already made that.
It won't,
well, they made an estimate. They refused to lock
right.
Yeah, because that's all dependent on how quickly they get these goals done, right? And the goals you can view, and they update them every month on which ones are completed, which ones they're working on right now, which ones haven't been touched.
I can tell you this much: they'll never try to make that statement again because they've had to walk it back multiple times now. So they're never going to come out and try to give a ballpark ever again. Unless it gets them in league problems.
So one of the character flaws for Brad McQuaid was he got excited and would say things that he believed at the time, but ended up being pretty unrealistic. Like when he said we'll be in alpha next year, I think that would have been 2018,
3 from the Kickstarter
or something like that. Yeah. And so that got all of us as content creators all hyped up, right? And so I was like, oh yeah, like we'll probably be playing this game by 2019, etc. And that caused more of an issue. And so now after that was like the final time when he was, I think it was at a convention, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was at PAX. You're right. Yep. And after that mistake, they were like, never again. Like, we don't talk about dates till we know for sure as a human can be, that that's exactly when it's going to happen. So
they can also get sued if they talk about dates with the way that the pledge system is set up. So it's better to just avoid it entirely, and that's why if you listen to the way Chris worded it during the recent Code Carnage one, he said, well, we're still doing the pre-alphas. They're going to last until and into 2023, and all that says is that at least until 2023 there's going to be pre-alpha. And that could be early 2023, it could be the end of 2023.
Yeah.
There's no fixed timeline with that. So,
and that's all dependent on, how things go. Like, how good is their network code? Is it good? And now we can move on, and you know what I'm saying? Or do we need to continue drilling that out, right? And I think that is a smart way. I mean, I don't know if it's smart, but I think it's the honest way to go. Like, you don't know. These MMOs throwing dates, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea, until you get to a point where you've tested things really thoroughly, which who can even say that? You don't know. You don't know when your game's coming out. You don't know when you're going to enter the next phase unless you're just going to push it along,
You just said something that's, I love this, and I know that I have a different interpretation of it, but you just said you don't know, and that's why I refuse to make videos about classes, races, design of certain things that they've said, like the perception system and all these other things, because you just don't know.
You don't know,
they've said that this is what we want to do, and this is what we're testing, and this is what we're building, but no one knows what the iteration of that's going to look like on the end. I had a really hard time. Ben Dean said something in one of his recent comments from the newsletter where he said, our game is this, this, and this, and I had to say, no, it's not, because you're in pre-alpha. Your game's not launched. You can't say something is until it's an actual product.
That's true.
It's just, you have to wait. You don't know until you've tested that it's going to be those things.
That's true.
You just don't know.
That's
and that's
very
one
true.
of the issues with people who will get all sorts of Twitter pated about statements that are made, and it's like, just wait. You just got to wait, because there's so much testing that has to be done. Because like Nathan, if the network code sucks, let's say that the banking system that Steve Clover has just recently said that they were working on, let's say that throws an error into the system, right? And then they have to backtrack and fix every line of combat code and every line of inventory code and every line of the chat server. That's
Can you explain
a
why,
4-month
Jonah? I'm just
refactor
curious.
to fix all of these things that one little tweak made, but they have to make that tweak to get the banking system working the way they need it to work for the next 12 years of the game. Those are the types of things that you're never going to know until you get to that point, which is why they can't mention dates.
Yep.
Which is the crappy part of it.
Yeah, because MMO
the only way
development
around,
is a moving target. I mean, it just is.
Well, to some degree. The only way around it is if you really stick to your guns about production timelines and are willing to cut features to make those deadlines.
Good point.
Which I know, like, and that's a controversy in and of itself because, like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla launched with features. Well, no, Cyberpunk 2077 is probably a better example. Cyberpunk 2077 launched without features that it had promised during, like, the alpha and beta, like the wall running. And they launched without that feature because it got down to the wire and they said, we're not going to be able to make this work the way we want it to work. And even though we promised it, and even though we showed it to you, and even though we had it in alpha and beta, it's getting cut for the launch product because we have to have the game out by this deadline. And that's what happens when you have deadlines in place for production. You have to be willing to cut things. And that's one of the issues that I have with crowdfunded games is that they as long as people are continuing to throw money at the project, they can move that goalpost. The pro to that is that they can get all the features in if the money keeps coming in. The downside is that it can take for frickin' ever because those goalposts are always moving. And now you've got like 12 years into development. That's the scary side.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been taking notes as I've been going along, by the way, of things to add to the list of discussion points for our upcoming show. Because there has been some really good stuff that's come out of this talk today.
I tell you what's worse than all that you just talked about, though, Renfell. There's one thing worse than, like, all that. And it's when people assume that you've started development because you, like, for example, actually, this is the best example. I think the worst thing is when there's a series, right? And so when one series is over, everybody just expects it was a big success, it made a lot of money, they're working on the next one, right? Because this is a series. Elder Scrolls is the best example. We all assumed for many years that they must be working on the next Elder Scrolls, right? And they weren't. Like, well, how long's it been? 15 years? Oh, yeah. And they're just now like, oh yeah, we're starting to work on that. Like, are you serious, dude? You just started. Like, we're gonna be old men by the time the next Elder Scrolls comes out. Like,
oh yeah, I'll be 45.
That's even worse to me. At least when it takes a long time and you know why, and you know you see the progress. I feel like that for me, that's easier to swallow than just like that situation where it's like
I'll be a grandpa gamer by the time we get to like the next iteration of it's the ultimate edition of Skyrim. Out,
Oh yeah,
20 years from now.
The Master Scrolls Skyrim.
My grandkids playing it before.
Bounty and Sparrow said their internet went out. That's why they dropped the group and everything. So, well, I know that we're gonna have fun in the upcoming conversation show.
I'll bet you guys are.
So stick around for that, folks. But I should probably get going anyway because I need to get video production done today.
Yeah,
more rings of power to prep for this weekend.
All right, guys. Well, really good combo, though.
Yeah, it was great today. Do we have anything going on tomorrow? No, but Thursday we're back, and we'll be back. Some of us will be back. I think Sparrow has her book club, but I think the rest of us will be there for Thursday night for the WoW group. Are you going to be there Thursday night, Nathan?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, we'll do something. And then Friday night's P99.
Yep.
P99.
Back in good old...
Pre-patch is today, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it is. Yep.
And assuming if the servers are up at 5 p.m. Central, I hopefully, if the servers are up, that's what I'm going to be doing tonight, is rolling my Death Knight, because I've never played one, and I can't wait to try it.
Oh, you've never done one ever?
Never.
Oh, dude, you're gonna have a blast tonight then.
But if I don't do that tonight, then I'll be doing it. I know Maduris and I will be back tomorrow morning with my brother at 4 a.m. And then, are you streaming tonight, Nathan? Anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing something likely, like you said, if WoW Classic comes back up, I'll likely hop on there for a pre-patch stream. And then tonight's me and Sparrow's MMO 101 ESO on Pantheon
Oh,
Plus.
that's right. You guys are still doing ESO.
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck with everybody's streams tonight. Thanks, Benlin. Thanks, Baduros. Good times this morning, as always,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
Good times.
All right, guys. You
I
guys
gotta
have a
go
good
work
one.
now.
Yeah, me
guys.
too. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right. Hope everybody had a good time on the stream today. A lot more conversation than actual gameplay. Whoops, I got rid of chat by accident. So that happens sometimes. You get a bunch of content creators together. They end up, dang it, I still didn't pull up chat. I see why. Okay. That happens sometimes. Floodball says they're not repeating a lot of the same mistakes made with other releases, but it takes time. With the small team, develop the stable base that is the engine. Yeah, and getting all these things in place are going to take a lot of time. The good thing, though, is that they're really enjoying what they're doing, and they, as Sparrow said, they really believe in it a lot. So, you know, the passion is like burning really bright. And I think that's what's captured most of us, is just that passion being so strong and obvious that it gets us excited, and we can see it in them. And so, along with the tenants and all the things that are in the game, it just we feel like that this is moving in the direction we want it to. And as long as you've got the patience to wait it out, and I know some people don't, then, you know, we're going to finally get the game we wanted, right? Sparrow, I hope your internet does work itself out for sure. Hopefully you guys can get that worked out permanently, so you can figure out what was wrong. But guys, I really appreciate everybody for coming out. Thanks a lot. I'll be back later today. I'm going to make a video, because that's my new things. I stream in the morning, I stream in the evening. So after I get my video out around 5 p.m. or so, it depends on what's out and what I play. But if the pre-patch is done, I'll definitely jump on WoW Classic to do a pre-patch stream and level up some. And if not, then I'll find something else. Not sure what yet. But guys, thanks a lot. And until next time, my friends, God bless and happy gaming. Bye, all.